Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna give you the guide to train a normal striker. This is very simple, this is very concise, anyone can do it. Okay, this is not a mutant. This is for anyone who wants to take training to the optimal level. So this is gonna be the end product that most people are gonna have. Like, this is the structure that you're gonna see if you follow my method. And what I want you to understand about this is the reason I stop at 174 is because from this point you don't train the player. You do this at the beginning of the season, but after that you let the player gain 4% as man of the match. And also you give him the attributes that give you the premium sponsor, or if you don't buy the premium sponsor, the normal sponsor, because that way you increase the efficiency. So you shouldn't complete the training up until 180% when you're training, okay? So we're gonna start by the beginning. This is the end, but I wanna quickly mention that a player like this has maintenance. Like, if I make the calculation, for example, and I add 56 tackling plus 223 dribbling plus 264 finishing, I get 543. Now, the number that should be here is 540. That's the max if you use the 180 rule. So next season this player is going to lose at 20%. So next season I have to subtract 60, and I can maintain dribbling and I can maintain finishing. Now let's see if I can maintain creativity, because that's another thing. So creativity, let's add bravery and let's add positioning, which is 2 attributes of video analysis, plus creativity, which 300. Oh wait, I forgot the plus 308. So it's 565. Now I know I'm gonna lose 20% in 3 attributes, so that's 60, and you can see it's below 540 again. And obviously I can maintain shooting because the values of crossing and marking are very low. So just to show you that I can actually maintain it, I'm gonna just add the values: plus 4 marking, plus 219. This is to do set piece delivery, and set piece delivery has 4 attributes, so the limit is 720. So you can see that I can maintain, right? This is like a piece of art. This is so good because you're not just training a normal player, you're training a normal player that you can maintain, that you can say, hey, the next season I'm going to be using a few drills and it's going to look exactly the same or even better, because let's remember that white attributes increase twice the speed of a gray attribute. So this is idea. This is what everyone should be doing, right? This is the optimal level of training. And I'm going to show you this step by step. We start first, well, this is another player I wanted to compare because this player wasn't exactly done like perfect. I mean, it's a great player. It's another player, different player, but it's just not the same. Maintenance is just not there. Some attributes are just not there. It's not the same. And I wanted to show you why, and I wanted to show you how to be like rigorous, like how to take your player to the next level and make sure like everything is fine, like mathematically perfect. So I start with this player, right? 18 years old, at 42%. How many times I said, go to actions, don't buy from the academy, and get a player at 18 years old and with 40%. So the reason is because it has low grade attributes. You can see here, you can get something like this from the market, something closer to this. You can get it, right? And then you just let the season go by. You don't do anything. You don't increase a single percentage point. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Okay. And notice now it has 19 years old. It's the same. Like, the quality now is 22%. Before that it was 42. So it lost 1 star, which is 20%. And you can see the values are like the same, right? 33 tackling, and then like it loses 20%, becomes 13. It had 23 marking, it loses 20%, becomes 3, and so on. Everything is the same, right? 18 crossing, and notice that now it's 1%, but it's actually negative. You get that, right? That is -2. So we have these values now, and right at the 19 years old, when it has the 20% drop with the new season, is when you begin training. And the routine, the drill sequence is simple, but you have to be very rigorous. You have to be taking these drills to the limit, to the 180. I'm going to give you the drill sequence, but if you don't follow the 180 rule, if you don't follow the concepts that I give you at certain points, even if you have the drill sequence, you are not going to be able to have that player, okay? So pay attention. We have shooting, speed, and passing. Now the 180 rule says that among the 3 attributes, if I'm gonna, use pass, go, and shoot, those 3 attributes have to add up to 540. So I do that, and notice I only train with pass, go, and shoot. Okay, nothing else, and the values add up to 540. Actually, I'm gonna ask you not to add up to 540. If you can, do it up until 537, because these values have decimals. So even though among the 3 they will add up to 540, say for example that you have passing at 174.3%, it's not going to show you the 0.3%. So you're not going to be able to see, but you actually have it. So try to make that the 3 attributes add up to 537, something like that, so you don't waste rest, okay? So first drill sequence, first drill, pass, go, and shoot. You can see it there. Next, I'm using shooting technique. You see nothing out of the ordinary. It's just normal drills. Again, we have 3 attributes in the drill, so they all have to add up to 537. And the next drill is also going to keep working on shooting. Now, shooting here is going to take us with 340 shooting. Now, notice this concept that I wanted to mention real quick. I had to show you with the numbers, actually. If I add the values that I have here for wing play, because I'm using wing play here, I'm training with the third drill is wing play. Remember that. 340 shooting plus 28 crossing plus 185 finishing plus 89 heading is not reaching the maximum of this drill. Like the maximum in the drill is 720, but I do not complete the drill because all I want with the drill is having shooting at 340%. And why is it that I do that? Because if I keep using this drill, I'm going to increase finishing, great. I'm going to increase heading, awesome. I have crossing, which is partly like an attribute of an attacker, great. But the thing is that because I have creativity low, and I only have like 3 drills to increase creativity, which is skill drill, video analysis, and fast counterattack. And guess what? Skill drill uses heading. So if I use heading with wing play, I will not be able to increase creativity as much as I want. And the first thing you have to understand is that there is a concept in training. You have to take care of those attributes that are hard to maintain or that are hard to train later on. So shooting is very hard to get to 340. That's why it's the first attribute. Also, it's hard to maintain. So it's the first thing that you're going to take care. And creativity is the next. You have seen several strikers, several forwards, AMLs, AMR, that really have poor creativity because they don't understand this concept that I'm trying to explain. When you use a drill, don't use heading, because if you use heading too much, then you're not going to be able to use skill drill to increase creativity as much as it should. So that's a little bit of concept there. So next drill is skill drill, and you're going to see now. Notice how among the 3 attributes, they all add up to 537. So now we have creativity there. Let's add a little bit more creativity. You can see the next drill. Can you guess the next drill? Look at that positioning. Look at that creativity. Look at that bravery. Before, after. So the next drill for creativity is video analysis. With video analysis, you get to this point, and then, because I'm I'm a little ambitious and I really want that creativity high. I do a little bit of fast counter attack. And this is all because I want creativity high. That's the only reason. And then after that, notice the tackling. This is very simple when I show you like before and after, like 134, 146. There's one drill. Can you guess? Yes, that's one-on-one finishing. And the reason I do this drill is because I want finishing. This is the only drill that is going to get me finishing as high as I need. So you have to do it. You really have to do it. Because you can get dribbling with stop the attacker, but you cannot get finishing with any other drill. So this has to be taken to the maximum. You have to do it following the 180 rule, which means here with one-on-one finishing, I'm training 3 attributes. Therefore, among the 3, they have to add up to 537. If you take my drill sequence and you do not apply the concepts and you do not apply it to the 180 and you just cut it short because you say, hey, you know what, I'm spending too many rests, you're not gonna get the same results. Okay, so take it like completely. My advice, if you want to see the player that I show you, you need to do it at 580. Next, can you see the one? I'm gonna show you before and I'm gonna show you after. That's right, we're working on speed. Look at that, 280 before, 184. This is Carioca with ladders. And then we're gonna make it simple again with physical and mental. We're gonna work with gym and we're gonna take the strength as high as we can. Now remember, if you go back, we're gonna go back 2 drills. You see fitness here at 8% and you see aggression at 3%. Why do I have that? Because before I had fitness at 28% at 18 years old and I had aggression at 23. And why did I have those values? Because it was a player that I bought at 40%. So this is why it is so important, because later during the drills I'm gonna use Carioca and I'm gonna increase that like a lot. Look, that it's like 51 aggression and it was 3, so I increased a lot. Can you imagine starting with a player who already has 51? So this value will be like 100. Not even, because it will increase so much. It's just like the math would not even give you 280 speed because you will have too much aggression. So this is why you need very low gray values. This is why I say go to actions and buy me a 40% player. And this is why I insist in training after the 20% drop with the new season. So fitness here at 8%, notice that it goes to 80. It goes to 80, okay? So that's big. Another thing I wanted to mention here, how to calculate the gray values and how to calculate the white values. Like if I show you this, like this picture, like before gym, and you were to say, hey, how many values I'm gonna get? Like all you have to do is a calculation. Like for example, in this case, I have 8 fitness and here I have 80. Now, a gray attribute is gonna gain half the speed of a white attribute. Therefore, if I were to increase strength, let's say 50, then fitness is gonna increase 25. And if you make that relationship in your head, you can like guess, like make a relationship and you can like figure out how much you're gonna get. Like in this case, say for example, I were to make the calculation here. Let's bring this 278 minus 135. Right, I got 143. Now if I divide that by 2, it's 71. And if to 71, which is the half, right, is half, I add 8, I get the value that I got here on fitness. So if you make a little relationship and you understand how the speed of a gray and the speed of a white attribute is during a training, you can design a player. You don't even need to watch the training. You can just like grab a piece of paper and do it. Just a little trick there. And well, after this, obviously we're gonna stop at 174, let the player get attributes like 4% with men of the match, and also with the rewards from the sponsor. Here I got the normal, but if you were to buy the premium sponsor, you also get speed, you also get positioning, but you know, it's a big, I mean 10% of finishing is big. Then you have 10% of shooting and fitness. Awesome. Now this player, this is the other player. Like, notice this, we're starting at 19 with 47%. 47% is great. If it were 18, it's not 18 years old, it's 19. And here, this is what I want to say, because this means that at 18 years old, this player was 67%. Now, it has amazing great attributes. Yeah, it does. But it's not like the other one. Get it? So the math is going to be different. The player is just not going to be trained the same way. Like, you can see here values that it's not the same. And even though I train using the same drills, look at that, pass, go and shoot. You see here a little bit of shooting technique. Then you see again wing play, but wing play, look at that. With wing play, you do not reach 340. He has to use set piece delivery. You see that increase in marking over there? That's because he used set piece delivery to complete. So if you start with high grade attributes, you cannot even do this right. The previous version was able to get shooting without doing set piece delivery. So there you have a disadvantage. So next drill, again, it follows the same drills, which is skill drill. Then the next one after that is video analysis. And here we stopped and we did 101 finishing. I think I did 101 finishing, wait, yes, 101 finishing. And here, 151%, 260 something. What did I do? Wait, I know what I did. I have no clue what I did. Let's see, what did I do? 139, 187, 276, 215. Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did. So here I did pig in the middle. See that I had, like, because it's language, it's not another language. I had 203% positioning and 168% of passing. And then I have, well, you can see the other great attributes, but if I go, I get more values. So you can see the effect. Also, I get 73 tackling here, and I got 60 fitness and 41 aggression, which is 3 values, 3 attributes that are involved in pig in the middle. And here I don't have them so high. So I did pig in the middle. I did a lot of pig in the middle, more than I should. Here, gym. Yeah, gym. And this, I should have stopped at 173 to let the player get man of the match. But this player was trained on the last 2 or 3 days of the season to then maintain. So it wasn't necessary to stop at 173. We trained to 180 because of that reason. Okay, so a little bit more gym, and then we finish the player. We take it to 180%. Here is actually a better picture. Now this player, this is the reason why I wanted to say you do need to get a player with great attributes at 20%, which is 3 stars. Because I'm gonna show you this math, and this is gonna be annoying for you to see. Like, such a little, like a small tiny difference can have such an impact on the player. Here I just add the values of tackling, dribbling, and finishing, which is the 3 attributes involved in finishing, in one-on-one finishing, right? Which is what I need to maintain finishing and dribbling. And guess what? I got way over 540. Even with a drop of 20%, I don't even get close. I had to wait another season, and that's barely there, and maybe another season after that to maintain dribbling with one-on-one finishing. So this is horrible. This is like a tiny little difference, and it has a big impact on maintenance. Big impact. Look at that, 254 of positioning plus 89 bravery plus, let me get this here, 276 creativity. I get 619. So if I subtract 60, which is the 20% drop on the 3 attributes, I don't even get to maintain creativity next season. I had to wait another season to be able to, because now it is below 540. That's scary. So look how I did it, because in that case, when you have something like this, to solve the problem, you had to do something. Well, here is the season drop, right? It lost at 20%. And then I train speed, you can see that 190 and 184 strength. I train speed with cardio ladders and strength with gym, and I stop at 170. Let the player gain 4% during the season, and then, you know, premium sponsor or whatever, because you need like to wait 2 seasons to do maintenance of creativity, to do maintenance of finishing. So this is bad, and it's such a small difference. I'm not even kidding. Like, I can maintain shooting at 340, like if I add 340 plus 38 plus 239 plus 41, and I get 658, which is below 720, and that's a given. That's very easy, because I mean, it's well trained after all. But I cannot maintain creativity, I cannot maintain finishing. Whereas with the other, because of a small teeny tiny like small difference, which is that I had 20% values to begin with, that was like a 20% drop. Remember, it was like a 20% less in the gray attributes, and it made a huge impact, because that player can be maintained. Let me show you. It's right at the beginning, like right at the beginning. I have to go back, like here. This player, you can maintain creativity, you can maintain finishing, you can maintain dribbling. You don't have to wait 1-2 seasons. It's perfectly trained, because the Y attributes were very low. It started like that, get it? And when it was 19, it was like this. And it was trained using fast counter attack in the middle, whereas the other didn't. It's so small, the difference, but the results are huge. So keep that in mind. I'm giving you the drill sequence, but as you can see, if you do not use it correctly, if you're not very careful, you're gonna have very different results. This is how you're supposed to start training, okay? Because if you don't, you're not gonna have maintenance, and that sucks. I mean, such a small, tiny little difference. I hope I wasn't too much. I hope I was clear and concise, and let's see you soon.